we back with another video in our Ectomorph series. So the first video was about some fundamentals about Ectomorph in a extreme way. So we're talking about the naturally skinny person or a person that you would deem super skinny. So once again, just to review, the Ectomorph in the extreme way will be someone who is really thin, really slim, really skinny. But with that being said, the most extreme Ectomorph category, they will also have really slim features. So, really slim face line, jaw, neck, really, thin, super narrow hips, waist, shoulders. They're kind of built really straight up and down, longer limbs, tapered or really skinny, and don't hold a lot of weight around their joint areas like we discussed before. So around their knees may be a little bit more bonier or protruding, ankles, wrists, same way. Collarbone, all of those things are kind of profound and really stick out or stand out. So that would be the extreme Ectomorph. So that would be, I guess, like the entry level or tier 1 starting point for Ectomorph. So that's like the super extreme, super skinny. You can point them out in the crowd, no confusion. All right. So your cross country runners, long distance people, stuff like that. So today we're going to talk about the next level up from the extreme super skinny Ectomorph. We're going to talk about the Ecto-Meso blend. So Ecto-Meso blend means you are still naturally slim or naturally skinny, but you do have mesomorph qualities. So with proper weight training or proper resistance training, proper dietary habits, you can put on weight at a fairly decent rate or put on muscle at a fairly decent rate, as long as you're staying honest and true to your weight gain or weight training resistance training program. So the difference in the two, and just to go into a little bit more detail about Ecto-Meso blend, these will still be your people who check off the fundamental boxes of maybe appearing to look like or have the qualities of an ectomorph. So these people may still have longer limbs, their muscles still may taper, they still may be on the slimmer side, not carrying a lot of additional weight or additional water weight. But these people, you will notice that some of their base frame will be a little bit bigger. So these are the people to where instead of looking at them and saying, oh, like they're just skinny, or you don't even think about it, you just consider them just like, paper thin, straight up and down. These will be more of your people that look like, they'll actually probably look a little bit more malnutrition or sicker when they don't have the weight, because these people actually tend to have a little bit of a bigger frame that needs to or should be or could be filled out. So your Ecto-Meso blends, they'll tend to have more bigger bone structure or appearance, or their shoulders may be wider, or their waist may be a little bit wider or more of width than the traditional Ectomorph, which is super skinny, super straight up and down. So you may see or have this kind of feeling with the Ecto-Meso as if, hey man, you need to gain some weight. Like you look like you missing some shit, or you look like, you could fill out your frame a little bit. So these people will still be on the naturally skinny side, but their frame will look as though they can hold a little bit more weight, or they could maybe put on a little bit more muscle. Like you can almost look at them and see where the muscle should be. Developed Ecto-Mesos will have a muscular, toned, really fit and trim look to them, but they still won't really take up a whole lot of space. But these people will still, be super ripped, or they'll still be filling out their clothes or whatever, but they won't necessarily be like your huge big dudes like your Endomorphs, who are just like, big round heavy guys, barely fit through the door, that type of shit. So your Ecto-Meso will be muscular, but they still won't be thick, if that makes any sense. So you'll see them. So Ecto-Meso, you may not really be able to tell how muscular or how big they are until maybe they're wearing something a little bit more fitted in nature, or their shirt or clothes may be off, or they may be wearing, compression or spandex or something. And then, you're like, oh, wow, like I didn't know, you was, that big, or I didn't know you had all that going on or whatever. So your Ecto-Meso, once again, they won't be thick or girthy or chunky, but they will hold a little bit more muscle mass and have more of that developed frame about them, but they still will be more on the naturally skinnier side or slimmer side of things. So just to kind of put it into perspective, I got a list of a few famous people, people may know that could fit into these categories. So a lot of your, if you're thinking about football, a lot of your wide receivers, some of your defensive backs will fit into this category of Ecto-Meso. Like a big guy who kind of changed the game or made a name for himself of being pretty slim, but like super muscular was like Terrell Owens. Some of your more relevant guys would be, somebody like Josh Gordon or something like that, who's still, both still really long-limbed and natured, really tall, obviously, but you can see that they're holding a lot of muscle mass on their frame, but they're still not, super over-the-top, girthy, huge, thick guys. Like, they're not taking up a bunch of space, but, if you run into them, that shit may hurt a little bit. A lot of your world-class sprinters, or shorter sprinters, or people that run like the 100 meters and things like that at a world-class level, these people will also be some of your Ecto-Meso body type blends, to where they're pretty slim in nature, but they're holding a lot of muscle mass. Like you see, like really developed legs, really developed shoulders, really developed arms, and, calves and all that type of stuff. So once again, not super huge and thick, but like I said, when they're kind of stripped down or wearing tighter clothes or more compressed clothes, you see a lot of muscle tone, a lot of muscle definition, a lot of muscular development in these people, even though they're not super big and chunky. And basketball players too. So another popular Ecto-Meso body type would be LeBron James. LeBron James is 6'8", but if you run up on that dude, that ain't a small dude. And he's very slimmer in nature. Once again, he checks off all the boxes of having the longer limbs and tapered muscles, with the shorter muscle bellies on his frame. But he's holding a lot of muscle mass, which allows him to be, of course, more explosive on the court and not super frail, as, he's made his career off, being just a better specimen than most people. So LeBron James is another really popular Ecto-Meso blend body type. Some famous people, if I can think of any, somebody who came into the game considered skinny and then has kind of put on weight, somebody like Trey Songz or something like that, to where he's still pretty naturally slim in his frame, but of course, he's able to hold a little bit more muscle mass over the years as he's, worked out and stuff like that. So just when you think about the Ecto-Meso blend, you're thinking about people who you wouldn't consider them big, but you wouldn't ever call them small either, if that makes any sense. So you can look up some of those people or kind of cross-reference what I'm saying, so you can get a pretty good, feel for what the Ecto-Meso type looks like. I'm going to make another video about how to train as an Ecto-Meso. I am an Ecto-Meso myself, so some of our training can be tricky because it's like, I'm not trying to do too much and start losing weight, but, I can gain weight pretty easy, but I'm still trying to stay in shape, or I'm not trying to, get too big in the, my stomach, or no, stupid shit like that. So this video is just to really highlight the contrast between the extreme Ecto and the Ecto-Meso blend. I hope y'all have a better feel for what the blend is. The next video will be about how the Ecto-Meso should work out, train, eat, and take care of their body from a nutrition perspective and resistance training perspective. See y'all later. Peace.